Alright, hey guys, Byte Brian here. It's a nice, sunny October afternoon, so why don't you guys come along with me and let's do some thrifting. See if we can find anything and just see what's out there. Let's go.
Alright, so the first stop in my thrifting odyssey today is this local mission church-run thrift store in my neighborhood. And they're a really small but nice little thrift store, all ready for Halloween with various knickknacks and Halloween sundries and a clown looking similarly like it on the shelf, but perhaps a little more friendly. Have a bunch of knitting materials and blankets and quilts that I have no use of. Always going to take a look in their very interesting toy section. Not a lot here today though. This was pretty disappointing. Saw this Power Rangers or Beetleborgs knockoff. I don't even know what that is. And just a lot of like baby toys and really uninteresting board games that I would never really want to pick up. A remake of Don't Wake Daddy and Aladdin Puzzle. This little motorcycle thing, which was kind of neat, but really nothing here. Pretty picked over, unfortunately. And we're going into the electronics section of the store. We have some scales, and one of my favorite spots to pick through is the old VHS section. And you can always find some classics here. We got Pulp Fiction, and of course one of my all-time favorite movies ever, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And there's always a good variety of classic movies that are still awesome to look through because you don't always see everything on DVD, so I use my VCR pretty regularly. And picking through here, I happen to find one little gem inside of this plethora of VHS, and that would be Captain Planet and the Planeteers' Deadly Glow. How cool is this? I'll definitely be picking that up. And in their other computer and electronics section, not too much here except for a couple of things. Have this old vintage calculator, which is really neat. I love the buttons on these. They're very tactile and make great clicky noises. And also a manual, which looks to be from the 60s or 70s 8mm home video camera. How cool are these things? Never used one, but they always look neat and really provide some good quality images in a nice film grain style. Checking through the DVDs and Blu-rays, nothing much here, just a bunch of sports titles and your generic run-of-the-mill nonsense games that unfortunately nobody wants and will probably sit here forever. Now, moving on to my second stop of the day, this is the Bryn Athyn thrift store, and it's inside a giant barn. Always a lot of cool stuff to find here. And first off, of course, because they're all ready for Halloween, we've got some Sounds from the Crypt and Halloween CDs, as well as what seems to be a train conductor's mask, a California raisin, and some other little wind-up figurines, as long as some more Halloween merchandise as well. Have some really neat books in their books section here. I always make sure to check out the fiction and science fiction sections of any thrift store that I go into. You never know what titles you're going to find, and there's always a lot of hidden gems and unusual titles that are tucked away, like this Rooster's Off to See the World book. And you have a nice collection of little golden books at the bottom with this Mr. Dog title. How cute is this? He's wearing a straw hat and smoking a corncob pipe. That's just ridiculous. And of course, this wonderfully absurd, very busy Barbie. I am sure you are busy indeed. And checking back through the softcover paperback books, I found one of my all-time favorite series, a choose-your-own-adventure book. You Are a Genius. Well, I always knew that, but it's nice to have a book that confirms it. So, moving out of the book section and checking out the miscellaneous electronics and video games section of the store, you have your run-of-the-mill PS2 and Xbox 360 sports titles, a lot of generic PC software and video games, but hiding in the wings I found something really interesting, a copy of Return to Zork for PC. I didn't end up picking this up, but it's still really neat to find. Also hidden away, I found two really cool Sierra manuals for a game I've never heard of before called Outpost. unfortunately the game wasn't anywhere to be found in the PC section, and I really wish that it had been. Would have been neat to see. Some more random electronics, and oddly enough, at the bottom there's a mail tote full of microscopes. What's the deal with this? And looking around the store some more, we have a 60s board game called Manhunt. And this is a crime detective game where there's these little gadgets that you have to guess the clues and the criminals to see if it matches up and solve the crime. And another interesting little device that I've seen here many times before, in a leather and aluminum briefcase, no less. This is the Bridge Challenger 3, and this just totally reeks of the 70s with Commodore 64 and TI Instruments computers, and it's just amazing it's dedicated totally to bridge for such a hardcore piece of electronics and computing hardware. An old rotary phone, and some other interesting odds and ends. On to my last stop of the day, a local Goodwill, and unfortunately this one wasn't very good. I came in here checking to see if there was anything of interest at all, and the place was really picked over. Nothing but modern toys and baby toys, and just nothing left at all, but that's the way it goes with a lot of Goodwills on the East Coast. They're usually ransacked by resellers, just ravaging the store and grabbing anything of any interest and leaving little behind. So that might be all fine and good, but I know you guys are asking, well, what'd you get? So what I picked up on my outing today is a Captain Planet and the Planeteers VHS, a choose-your-own-adventure book, a 1973 Curious George book, and an early Matt Groening The Big Book of Hell book, and the latter two I picked up at a thrift store I didn't get a chance to film any footage in. So thanks guys for coming along on this 8-Byte Thrifts adventure with me, and I will see you next time. So happy thrifting, and until the next one. Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.